What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. Happy Thanksgiving. And want to talk today about Justice League Unlimited number one, which came out yesterday. And this is a beautiful book, to be honest. Very, very beautiful. The cover itself, this is a variant cover by Jim Lee. I love it. The Justice League members just looking into the distance, to the horizon, I guess, and they look pretty majestic. Jim Lee is one of those comic book artists. He's a legend, and he always makes DC superheroes look epic. He makes them look regal and powerful and beautiful, and just look at all of them. I don't particularly like that he's always putting Batman at the front. I think that should change a little bit the dynamic. But it is what it is. It's still a beautiful book. I love the way Superman looks, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Star Sapphire. Not sure why he chose to draw Martian Manhunter looking like this. It's kind of puzzling. I've seen current Martian Manhunter. He's looking. He's looking like his normal self. He's not choosing this form, so that was kind of weird. But I guess he wanted to make him look more Martian. When you flip it, this is actually the cover, the actual proper cover. That belongs to Justice League Unlimited. I like that whenever they sell you now the one with the variant cover. When you flip it open, it has the traditional cover in it. The one that actually, is generic, the one that is for everybody, for the whole public, whenever you don't want the variant. Like I mentioned, this is a beautiful, beautiful book. It is very ambitious in scope, superheroics at its best. We're gonna look over here at the visuals a little bit. The gist of it is basically that the Justice League has chosen to be very proactive in the DC universe. Pretty much all the available and willing superheroes in the DC universe that want to be on call for the Justice League, they're on call. And the Justice League is being proactive, fighting evil, fighting injustice all over the world. That's the gist of it. This is the creative team. The writer is Mark Waid, artist Dan Mora, colorist Tamara. I don't want to butcher that last name. Bonuvian, Bonuviline, I guess. And letters by Ariana Mayer. Um, Beautiful, beautiful visuals. Dan Mora is one of my favorite pencilers today, one of my favorite artists. This guy makes superheroes look amazing. He is great at making, drawing dramatic moments, um, peaceful moments where characters are just interacting with each other. He makes it look good. And when it comes to action, he's a master. He reminds me of George Perez, of the late George Perez. And DC is giving Dan Mora a lot of work, and is he deserves it. He deserves to be making the big bucks in DC Comics right now, because he is the go-to guy. Um, so far, I haven't heard anything about him. He's being late or anything like that. He so is so he's a professional. Not only is he good, not only his visuals excellent. That means that he's a penciler that turns in his work on time, and that is impressive indeed. What not so many greats can boast about that. So like I mentioned, this team is the core team, at least for the initial issue. The first issue is Superman, Star Sapphire, Wonder Woman, Flash, and uh, Black Lightning, and Firestorm. And and when I say Flash, I meant Kid Flash. Um, Wally, the Wally West, I think is his name, but he is the black kid. Um, so here we go. You know, this team, this concept reminds me a lot about, and it's not shy about it. It reminds me a lot about the classic Justice League um, cartoon. You know, where all of them, I believe it was called also Unlimited. I'm not sure. And you know, it was all of them, and they were all on call, and they all, if they could, they would live on this satellite above planet Earth, just all of them like being guardian angels basically. And this one introduces us to Airwave, this new superhero, young. He's green, he's inexperienced, and he's in awe. And he just joined the Justice League, and he joins the Justice League just as they're busy, taking care of several crises going on. And this funny moment here, Flash grabs him and gives him a tour at high speed, and it serves also to show the reader what's going on, get the reader up to date on everything, on the concept, on what the team is doing. um, it's all very cool, very dynamic, and there's a lot of drama going on, and a lot of action. There's things I have questions. I have questions because I'm a huge um, DC fan. I've been buying comic books for a long time, and I love the DC universe. Even though I love Marvel, um, I I have always leaned towards DC more. So there's a couple of questions going on. For example, I notice here, and it's not really explained, and it's a little bit weird too, because this is Mark Waid. Mark Waid takes no shortcuts. He is great, um, at crafting stories, and he's meticulous, and he's detailed, and he is very respectful of continuity. If something's going on in the DC universe in other books, and he's using a character from another book, he makes sure he does his homework, and he knows what's going on with that character in that other book, and he tries to successfully implement it in whatever current story he's doing, be it Justice League or the Superman book. And for the most part, he keeps it up, and he does a very good job. But over here in this panel, I have a little question. I saw Black Lightning flying alongside Star Sapphire. Um, to uh, to my knowledge, Black Lightning does not fly. He's not an expert flyer. He doesn't roam the skies like a Hawkman would do, like a Superman would do. So, I was left with that question. How is Black Lightning flying? Another question is Star Sapphire. I know, that in the Green Lantern, the May Green Lantern book, Star Sapphire is not a villain, and this is a trend going on right now, that making supervillains heroic is going on. It's not a trend that I like. I'm not fond of it. So Star Sapphire is just, over here, I guess, on Green Lanterns. I'm guessing because Mark Waid does not explain this. I guess Green Lantern recommended Star Sapphire to, join the Justice League. And as far as I'm concerned, Star Sapphire, in this current continuity, although she's a good woman, she's a good girl. It used to be that the ring would corrupt her and make her kind of evil, and but I guess not in this case. I guess she's wearing a different type of ring. Again, these are questions I have. I guess they could be answered later on in later issues. But I'm not sure about that yet. And plus, she's inexperienced, and it is alluded a little bit to, by Superman that she's gonna be in awe very often, if she's part of the team. But I just wanted to comment on that part that I'm not fond of Star Sapphire being in the Justice League just yet. I think they're rushing that, but whatever. Wonder Woman, you know, I'll be honest. Currently, Wonder Woman's being written by Tom King in her main title. I dropped that title. Tom King is one of the worst writers um, doing DC Comics right now, and unfortunately, he's been tasked with writing Wonder Woman, and he writes awful Wonder Woman stories. He has basically turned Wonder Woman into this anti-American villain, and I fucking despise that current ongoing. But over here, she's a little bit tolerable. Um, she's a little bit heavy-handed with giving orders. That's another question I have. Is Mark Waid making her the leader of this team? Because let's remember, in her main title, she's attacking. She's very anti-government. This character is not the Wonder Woman that we used to love, and over here she's barking orders. Is she the leader of the Justice League? Is she one of the leaders? Because in my opinion, she shouldn't be. Her character is going through some very significant, controversial changes and characteristics in her own book. So I'm not really sold on her being on the forefront of this team, because this team is supposed to inspire, is supposed to protect, um, inspire humanity and protect humanity, and that's not what she's doing in her own book. So it kind of contradicts, but I understand that, I can see the mentality of Mark Waid using the Trinity. He has to use them. He wants to use Batman. He wants to use Wonder Woman, and he wants to use Superman. Um, the action is heavy in this first issue, and I love it. And like I said, Dan Mora makes every one character look beautiful, regal, strong, um, effective, and just very heroic. And I love that part. I love that part. As far as the writing is concerned, it all makes sense. For the most part, 80% of it all makes sense. All the characters are acting accordingly, and this is a book that wouldn't work. It's not gonna work without Mark Waid. I don't think so. This is a book. The concept of it, the gist of it is, it has to be a writer like Mark Waid that is so versed in DC Universe continuity, or maybe a Jeff Johns or Mark Wolfman. These writers like this are very few, uh, very few of them left. Fortunately, DC Comics and Marvel Comics have let a whole bunch of activists, uh, so-called writers, come in to write, uh, you know, many beloved characters that they have no business writing. You can tell that these people have not loved comics before. They don't love these characters. They're there just to serve a purpose, just to virtue signal, just to spread, you know, political messaging and just preaching weird stuff going on in the real world that really shouldn't be it shouldn't be implemented into our beloved superheroes. The DC universe is a fictional universe. Not everything has to mirror what's going on in the real world. That's just my opinion. But I digress. Let me continue. Like I said, look at this. Look at these visuals. This book is beautiful. Dan Mora is a master. He is a master. His storytelling, his visuals, the action, facial expressions. Like I said, even when superheroes are just standing and talking to each other, he puts expressions in their faces, and Wonder Woman looks sexy, strong but sexy, and Star Sapphire and stuff. So yeah, so far this book looks amazing. I'm looking forward to the next issue. um, Very big in scope, very cinematic action, very cinematic drama going on, what superheroes should be all about. And it turns out, the last page gives this cliffhanger that Airwave, the new kid in the block, he says that he's there to infiltrate the Justice League and destroy them. So yeah, that's a hell of a cliffhanger, and we'll see what's going on with this character. um, he actually saves the day in this story, and he helps out. He's smart. He looks to be kind, and but we'll see. Mark Way has a tendency to weave great stories, and he doesn't lay it all out in the beginning. Like I said, this is the first issue, and I loved it. Looking forward to more, and I want to know what you guys think of this first issue. Um, from a scale of 1 to 10, I will give this issue a very solid 8. I think it's a beautifully illustrated book. Just amazing visuals, and the writing's pretty good. Um, just looking forward to. I love the action. Don't get me wrong. I love the action. I think comic books should be always, action oriented, action packed. But since this is a large cast of characters, um, I would like to see Mark Waid slow things down a little bit, have a little bit more of, slow moments, more quiet moments where we see what each character is gonna do, the roles defines, leadership, who handles what and who handles who, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just the first issue, so I understand he cannot lay it all out in the first issue. Let's see what goes on, and there you go, Justice League Unlimited #1 by Mark Way and Dan Mora. Thank you guys for listening. Give me likes, dislikes, subscribe to my channel, please, and let me know what you think. Peace.